Hey everyone. Like Bionic Dance, I think wishful thinking about spiritual things that don't exist is foolish. Like her, faith without reason is my enemy, and this is why I became an atheist. For this reason, I also dismiss astrology as a superstitious flight of fancy. Any sort of effectiveness that it might have in making a judgment or prediction for someone has been debunked time and time again anyway. And it is another kind of faith without reason. Spending some time with my great grandmother, who is a bit of an astrologer since she works at a psychic bookstore, got me to thinking about this issue. When the question of religion and belief in God was brought up among her, my mom, mom's friend, and I jokingly told them that my grandmother, my mom's mom, wouldn't be happy if she knew that I am an atheist, or she knew what I am, an atheist. Of course, atheism is a very misunderstood position among theists and deistic circles, even though it is very simple. So I had to take a bit of time to tell them what atheism is all about. Atheism does not pretend to claim that God does not exist. It is simply the lack of belief in gods, usually based upon the lack of substantial evidence of any sort for the existence of a god, because the burden of proof lies with the believer to show that a god exists. Atheism makes no claims or belief statements. It does not exclude the possibility, or it makes no other claims or belief statements. It does not exclude the possibility of believing in a whole host of other things, and in fact, some people who are technically atheists, like Buddhists, believe in an afterlife, though most atheists outside of Buddhism do not believe in an afterlife. Of course, like most theists and deists, they tried to make me feel guilty about being an atheist, and they say, bless this and that, and thank God for this and that, which makes me feel a little sick sometimes, but I have nothing to feel guilty about and nothing to apologize for. Based on what I see in reality, I make a judgment about the existence of any gods that I find satisfactory. However, I certainly do not claim with certainty that a god does not exist. I just do not believe one does. When they asked why I don't believe in a god to be on the safe side, I told them that if I have to answer to a god, why that if I have to answer to a god when I die, I will just apologize for not believing in him/her/it, because I just simply didn't think that a god existed, and let him/her/it do with my soul what he/she/it will. If he/she/it would choose to throw me in a pit of hellfire and brimstone for an eternity over something so petty, then he/she/it would be truly a cold, heartless, cruel, evil bastard, and I would have nothing to apologize for. This deity ought to do the apologizing. Their position is not the safe side any more than my position is. In fact, my position, based on the evidence, is actually the safer side, because it sides with reason rather than blind faith. The day after that, I attended a funeral for a distant relative of mine, which also got me thinking about death and the belief in afterlives. What is my position on afterlives? I believe we have only this life, because there is no reason and no evidence that I have been presented with to make me believe that we have any other. Due to the lack of evidence for afterlives, I lack a belief in them. I think that we only have one life to live. Only one life to live in this world, and only one life to give to this world and live for and by all the world's people and creatures, and we ought to make the most of it and enjoy it to a rich extent. However, I do sometimes entertain a little bit of wishful thinking about the multiverse theory, although I by no means strongly believe in any of my wishful thinking. Perhaps the multiverses are like afterlives, and when we leave this world, we enter another world, or are still around doing fine in another world. After all, if multiverses contain all of the possibilities, who's to say it couldn't happen? Of course, like other faiths without reason, that is just a flight of fancy. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.